The flow of time. So this is going to explain how time is going to flow in the Unreal Engine update. And this is a very long post, so I'm not going to read all of this information. I'm just going to read like some of the important parts, and we'll look at the pictures in the videos. If you think about the flow of time changes during the day, morning sunlight, noon, sunset, and moonlight in the night sky. The movement of light and the changing shadows are probably the first things that come to mind. As time passes, the position of light moves and the shape of shadows changes. So you can see that in this moving picture here, but for some reason the page is kind of loading this image slow, so I just opened it in a new tab. And you can see it right here. So like as time passes, the shadows are like moving and changing. So light movement and shadow movement changes. And here on the left we have the Turconail Bank in Pleon Engine. And on the right we have it in Unreal. So you can see how like the shadows are moving and changing shape, and how like the lighting is changing. And you can see like the clouds moving in the sky there. Yeah, these videos don't want to load on this page for some reason. Hopefully anyone else that looks at this will have better luck than I'm having. But it seems to be working better if I just open these videos in a new tab. And here we can see like the shadows of like the lights and the windmill and the building like moving as time passes. And here you can see how like the sky is changing over the windmill. So this is like the day going by. And this art looks really good. And again, this isn't final. It says not final right here and right here. So this is really cool. You can see like you can see time passing in the game. You can see the clouds moving. So this is what it's gonna look like in Turconail when the Unreal update comes out. And that looks really amazing. And here we can see like the shadows move, like the shadows of the fence here. So we can see that the shadows are starting to become more visible and show. And then they're slowly moving as time passes, like the sun is moving, the shadows are moving the opposite direction. And then this will show us rain. So they also showed this during the fantasy party in Korea. So you can see the rain, and you can see how the wood is darker because it's wet. And you can see the raindrops like soaking into the wood. That looks really good. And you can see like how the roof looks a little bit darker like here, because it's like wet, and so is the stone to the building. So the rain effect looks really cool too. So yeah, this is gonna be how like time will pass differently. This is all about like how time will pass differently in Unreal 5, and how like weather effects like rain will look. So this is a pretty long post, and maybe that's why some of these things are having some trouble loading. But I would recommend taking a look at it. When you think of Mabinogi, isn't it about dying? So this is all about the new dying system that they're working on. So let's start right down here. We'll watch this video real quick. And you can see like all the outfits and the, you know, like the wig, the boots. And you can like see their colors. And so far I like this new dyeing window. I think this looks really good. This is a screen in development. The UI configuration, operation, design, and details may change when Eternity is updated. The basic menu UI is a temporary version at the time of dying system development. Please look forward to the UI section in the next season's post. So I'm assuming the next season's post will probably be in December, because that's when they posted information last December too. But yeah, I am looking forward to reading their UI changes. So enter dyeing mode. When you dye your hair and don't get the color you want, using the dye ample, select the target from the list and dye it to the desired color. I'm sure you've had the experience of repeating the same process multiple times. At this time, you have to look at the same window several times and repeat the same actions over and over again. I was thinking, wouldn't it be convenient if I could just go straight to the dyeing process? Since we're already at it, we're improving it so that we can go straight into the unique mode where we can dye our hair. Wouldn't it be even better if, while dyeing one item, you could select another item and start dyeing it right away? Yeah, that would be pretty convenient. The list of dyeable items on the left includes not only equipment you are wearing, but also you can select all the dyeable items you have in your inventory. For example, you can sort by selecting only wig items or only shoe items. We are working on further improvements to provide a variety of filtering features. Everyone thought hard about the new clothes and dyed them with care in each dyeing pot. There must have been a moment where you felt something was a little lacking. Once you enter dyeing mode, you don't have to close and reopen the dyeing screen multiple times. Yeah, that would be really nice to not have to do that all the time. Divided the desired color into parts and pour the color in advance. We took great care to ensure that you could see what color combinations would look like. However, just like before, with one dyeing operation, I'm thinking of a direction where one item can only be dyed in one part. It's not that I haven't considered dyeing multiple items or multiple parts at once, but in that case, what is the item consumed and what is the color before and after dyeing? because it was anticipated that the guidance on how it had changed would become too complicated. So, dyeing result information window. While we're on the subject, I also tried to make the results of the dyeing window look better. So you can see like the old dyeing window that we have right here after dyeing something on the left, and on the right you can see the new one. So yeah, that looks a lot better. I believe I'm not the only one who has always been bothered by the global line breaks in the results window. This is an issue with the results window that is used not only for dyeing but also many other systems. Improvements to this part will be detailed in the next post. First, I thought about how to improve readability in the dyeing results window. Which item part changed from its original color to what color before and after dyeing. I've improved it to show it more clearly with the color code value. At first, of course, only RGB code was shown. Some newcomers to the Eternity project have expressed the opinion that hex code is easier to understand. When I compared it to my previous experience with Mabinogi, I thought that RGB alone would be sufficient. For new militians who are new to Mabinogi after the Eternity update, I thought that the hex code would be easier to recognize and memorize. So, dye color palette. So here's what that looks like right here. First of all, the colors that were unique to Mabinogi that I originally used were distorted. There was some concern about whether the messy, tangled appearance of the palette should be maintained. Like other games, you could have just chosen to present all colors in the form of a smooth, natural color wheel. Our color palette did not include all colors. Some were hesitant to take that path for various reasons, as it was only available in limited quantities in the area. So, by utilizing the 40,000 colors provided in the existing palette, I just wanted a version where those colors were arranged a little better and more naturally. And you can see like some pictures of that right here. There is a huge difference between the way humans perceive color to be natural and the way computers understand color ordering. There was a gap between the Torii Canyon and the Sanctuary of Avalon that was so difficult to bridge. No matter what method I used, I couldn't automatically list the pretty color spectrum. Eventually, at some point, someone had to manually tweak the results. I considered splitting the palette into two parts, but I wanted to avoid adding extra depth when dyeing. Looking at the dye palette, I kept wondering throughout the development period, where on earth did the satisfaction I felt when dyeing my hair come from? A. Select one or more colors from the color palette. This is the so-called physical area. B. Repeat until the desired color is dyed by breaking the 1 out of 5 probability realm of fighting the odds. Here's the area of A. It was very difficult to choose the desired color from the confusing color palette. In the area of B, there is still means to successfully dye directly through dyeing, but requires a separate cost. So yeah, this is the first post on the Korean Eternity site about the new dyeing system that they are working on. And there's also a part 2, so we'll go over that as well. So when you think about Mabinogi, isn't it about dyeing part 2? In the second installment of Dye, new additions are made in Eternity. I would like to introduce in more detail the parts that have been improved and supplemented from the existing ones. So, material palette. Oh, that's really cool. So you can see like how the palette is changing like with each tab that they click on. Mabinogi had a variety of color palettes including cloth, metal, leather, and silk. Depending on the item, there is a setting that says this part of the costume uses a metal palette. There were often situations where we had no choice but to dye some items with limited colors. In Mabinogi, the charm of dyeing your hair with a variety of colors is revealed. We judged that there would be little need to maintain restrictions in this area. We improved the dyeability of all dyeable items so that you can now choose one palette among the cloth, metal, leather, and silk palettes to dye. There are cases where multiple color tables are matched to the same palette. For example, even if it is the same metal palette, there are several types. Click on the desired material palette to see the materials that belong to that palette. I've included one of every existing palette to alternate between. So palette enlargement, this is pretty cool. So you can see how this is the palette zoomed out, like right here. Right here the palette zoomed out, and then like it zooms in. So it's easier to select the colors that you want when you're like zoomed into it. And here's another improvement to the dye palette. In the past, there were many times when it was difficult and uncomfortable to select colors at pixel by pixel levels. Hold down the control key while hovering over the palette with your cursor, and it enlarges so you can see it better. Yeah, that's really cool. Let's go and watch this real quick. Okay, so they're showing off like all the different dye tabs and the colors. Yeah, nice. Added various conveniences. Every Militian has his or her own color preference. Since the color of choice, once decided, does not change easily, the colors that are frequently used when dyeing are decided upon. To reduce the hassle of having to choose these frequently used colors from the palette every time you dye a new piece of clothing, we've added a new feature to make it easier to automatically select a color by registering it as a favorite once you've chosen it. That's nice. Additionally, dyeing is sometimes used to apply special colors that do not exist in the color palette. When you enter dyeing mode, you can check the dyes you currently have in your inventory and apply them right away. Additionally, when listing the stains, the colors are arranged in order from dark to light. For those who are new to dyeing in Mabinogi, the two most confusing points are, first, you have to choose the color yourself from a somewhat confusing looking dye palette. Second, there is a process in which 5 candidate colors are selected, one of which is randomly selected and dyed. Choosing a color is not easy, and I was very concerned about the current situation where the color I chose with great effort was not confirmed to be dyed. Like other games, it has a natural color wheel. We also considered providing all colors and a process for easily picking and dyeing the colors. However, when reflecting on it, many people said that it was not a dye that was truly Mabinogi-like. As difficult as it is to dye an item, I decided that there is definitely joy in developing my own individuality with more affection. Instead, you can use a regular dye and choose one color of your choice. We decided to provide an additional method to ensure definitive dyeing. Select a color other than the desired color among the 5 colors selected. I tried adding the ability to exclude from the result color and set this process to require a different resource. We are considering the optimal solution to prevent items with the same function, such as existing direct dyeing ampoules, from losing their jobs. Other things to consider. In addition to the general functions I have mentioned so far, we are developing to reflect the following additional elements. Dyeing zone. Setting the light source, such as natural light outside and inside at different times of day. A dedicated dyeing space where you can preset environmental elements such as black, all white backgrounds, chroma key backgrounds, etc. Mannequins of different genders and races. Ability to dye items of different races and genders while freely checking the results using preset mannequin elements. I want to gift an item to a friend in a color that matches their preference, but it was so hard because I couldn't try it on every time I dyed it. Now I'm in the process of setting up an environment where I can dye it by putting it on a mannequin instead. Yeah, I think that'd be a great idea if you could like use a mannequin item to put clothing items on and like try dyeing it using that method instead. Like if you're trying to dye something for a friend but you're not the right gender or the right race to wear the outfit, that'd be a good way to preview it. Eternity offers the experience of playing Mabinogi today. Numerous convenience improvements are being made while maintaining the best possible experience. For militians who will one day take their first steps into Eternity, this is an environment where they may experience too many changes at once, no matter how good the change in direction may be. There will be a fair amount of confusion for a while, which may not necessarily be a good thing for the gameplay experience. Yeah, that is true. There is a huge problem with Mabinogi is there's so much content in the game already that, like, if everything changes, it's gonna take a while for new players to adjust. So to help those of you who will reach the destination called Eternity adapt quickly, as an example, the improvements related to the dyeing system above were reflected first. We plan to present similar attempts in more fields in the future. Of course, in the process, it may work differently from the original intention. You may notice some shortcomings that we haven't noticed yet. We will even take that part into consideration and try to fully reflect the opinions for improvement. We may show you a more improved version in the finished version of Eternity, or if possible, on the official servers. So yeah, overall this post is really good, and it looks like they are still looking to the players for feedback, which is good. I think they're making the right call being really open with the player base. Like, they're paying attention to like what we're saying, which is definitely a good thing. And I do get it, like, this is going to be a drastic change, right? Mabinogi has so many systems that when we change to Eternity, it's going to feel like a completely different game. Like, that's just how it's going to be. So it is going to be a big adjustment for everyone, but overall, I think it's going to be for the best. Like, if we want this game to live another 20 years, like, this update needs to happen. And it's not going to be perfect. There are going to be some people that are angry about it, of course. There are going to be a few long-term Mabinogi players that have probably been around for, 15, 20 years. Some of them are probably going to be pissed off. But this still needs to happen. And that's just the reality. Like, with an update on this scale, it's impossible to do everything perfectly. There's always going to be something. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to their next post, which will probably be in December, I'm assuming. But that's it for the changes that they're making to the dying system. Alright, let's start playing Mabinogi today. I am on a different character that I don't usually use for streaming. I think I used this giant when I did my video about what I thought could be done to improve like dungeons and stuff. But I am on this character temporarily because I want to check something, so I want to do like a rebirth, I think. Because it's been 1,008 days and 13 hours since he's had a rebirth. That's funny. Long time. This is a pretty old character. So we'll be on this character for like 5 minutes and we'll switch to Xanafiedlion. Gonna claim that on Lion, not this character. Okay, let's wipe out any expired items. Oh, those don't get automatically added to his trash can for some reason. I'm pretty sure I can fix that in the settings, but we're not gonna be on this character long. I just want to get rid of some of this crap. Okay, so I want to test it out on this character because I want to see if I can finally level up my skills manually instead of them like getting leveled up automatically. Because originally for Mabinogi you'd have to advance your skills yourself, and then they added an option where you could turn the feature off or on where skills would just level up when you get enough XP. And then they came up with the brilliant idea of just forcing your skills to level up once you had enough XP and you no longer had a choice to level them up manually. And I honestly hated that, but I saw that they added this little arrow icon to replace the advanced icon, and I want to see if I can finally level up my skills manually now or not. And since Xanafiedlion already has like a lot of really high leveled skills, I thought I'd come on to a weaker character. So let's go ahead and level up quickly. We can do that by going to, I guess, Tara. We can do like a hard mode shadow mission or something. I just need to get some AP is all. I am going to be really happy if I can finally upgrade my skills manually again. I really dislike the game just deciding what skills get leveled up and not giving me any choice on where my AP goes. That really... Like, Mabinogi is supposed to be about freedom. Why are you trying to restrict what skills I choose to level up? If I want to level up, I'll do it myself. Let's try Shadowcast City on hard mode, see if that's any good. This character is pretty weak, so... What level is he? What's his total level? It's pretty low. Yeah, it's 1,677, no blanded training or anything like that. This character was created long before the blanded stuff was a thing, so... Since I never played on him a lot, he never really got around to it. Not used to having to reload with my dual guns. I'm used to the nice effects of the spirit weapon dual gun. Okay, so now we have a lot more AP. Now we have like 25. Let's level up some dual gun skills since that's what I'm using. So I'll take this up. Oh, that's gonna take too much. Oh, we got a big AP boost right there. Nice. So yeah, I'm gonna level up a bunch of these skills, and then when their XP gets maxed out, we'll see if they level up automatically, which I will be very annoyed if they do, or if I can upgrade them manually, which is what I want to do. So that's why I'm here to test. How much AP do I have left? 18? Nice. Alright, let's see if it's fixed. Wait a minute, what level are these skills? Well, it looked like it wanted to upgrade this skill automatically, but didn't have enough AP to do it. Crap, so that means the level skills up automatically is still in effect. Is there a way I can turn that feature off? I really hate that. No, it won't be any of that crap. Okay. Well, I guess if you don't have enough AP, you'll still have to upgrade the skill manually when you eventually get enough AP. What about skills like... Here, I'll just keep this open so I can keep a close eye on it. How much AP do I have now? 26? That's a lot. Okay, then let's see what happens when we try and upgrade Bullet Storm in a second. Because we're going to use that again. I don't really mind the arrow icon. That looks okay, I guess. Oh, it doesn't quite have enough yet. Crap. So it does still level up automatically if you have enough AP to level it. I don't like that. I wish I could turn that feature off. I was kind of hoping that that feature would become optional again with this little update, but that's not the case. Well, that sucks. I don't like the game controlling when it levels my skills. See, and another problem with the auto-leveling my bullet storm is now I can't use the AP I was saving up to upgrade Flash Launcher if I wanted to. Like, if I wanted to upgrade Flash Launcher first, I don't have that option anymore because it decided to waste my AP leveling Bullet Storm instead. So that's the problem with it automatically just deciding, oh, you have enough AP, I'm gonna level up a skill and it gets 100 XP. No, let the players decide that. It's complete crap that they have it designed like this. It wasn't this way before. Like, before, when they introduced automatic skill leveling, it was an optional feature, and that's what it still should be. By forcing this kind of feature onto players, you're basically forcing them to play the game a certain way, which you shouldn't be doing. Like, that's not one of the ways that you should be forcing players to play if they don't want to. Mabinogi was originally a game all about having the freedom to do almost anything you wanted, you know, within reason. And, like, now we have all these dumb systems that try and control how we fight and what skills we get to level and when and all that crap. It's really annoying. I don't like it. So, return the freedom to Mabinogi because this sucks. Okay, so now we're actually on Xanafiedlion. Time to play with him today. So this is a new quest tracker. I actually like the changes to the quest tracker. This is good. You can't remove required quests, okay. But we only have 2 here, it looks like. Is there any way I can get rid of this window completely, like when I don't want to use it? I guess they do make it small, which is nice, but like, is there a way to turn it off? Because it's just one more thing taking up space on my screen now. So let's take a look at options again. And probably be in gameplay and system. Or display, maybe. Okay, so it doesn't look like there's a way to make it go away or remove it completely. You can only make the quest tracker smaller by doing this, which is a little annoying. I wish there was a way to like actually fully remove this when you don't want it. Mostly just because I don't like screen clutter. Like, there are certain times when this will be really useful, but there are also times when it won't be. How far down can we put that? No, only that far? I guess that's not too bad though, right there. Yeah, but Mabby needs to start giving players the choice again. It's nice to have great features and stuff, but some of those features could certainly be optional. And a lot of the new features that come out are just kind of like, no, you have to live with this whether you like it or not, even when it's not necessary to push those onto the players that don't want them. So that's kind of annoying. I hope Mabinogi doesn't lose the free image that it once had. I do really like the cat box icon for the GM's 18th anniversary gift box. That is a really cool image. I almost feel guilty about opening this box because it means that the cat box in my inventory will disappear, but luckily I have a screenshot of this on my computer, so it's a really cool box though. Okay, we got the chair item. There's a title. Some blank astral cards. Oh, this is what means by pouch selection. Okay. Nice. Herb pouches. Honestly, I think I have enough pouches on this character. I'll think about it though. These items don't expire, so I can keep it as long as I want. The Twirl Gesture card. I wonder what that looks like. I don't think they showed like a image or a video for the Twirl Gesture card, so I have no idea. I might have to actually, if that can be sold on the auction house, I'm gonna have to buy another one of those on the auction house for the character that I don't stream with, because that character has like a lot of NPC transformations, so it'd be kind of cool to make like Duncan do that, or some of the other NPCs. And what does this chair look like? Let's take a look at it. Okay. It was used in, I think, Blago Prairie for the display image that they had, so I didn't know if they set it up in a flowery area or if the flowers were like included around the chair. But yeah, the flowers that surround the chair are part of it. It's kind of nice, I guess. It's a little symbol on the chair. Looks like a little flower symbol, I think. Looks alright. Let's get this spirit weapon bond up. And tomorrow I'll level her up. Oh, I need New Moonlight Island work. Well, whatever. I've never even bothered doing erg levels for weapons. Like, not once since it came out. Alright, and then... I don't really care about anything from the Air and Adventure Pass. Like, the Homestead Model Town item was probably the best item in this entire crappy pass, and I already got that, so... Overall, I'm not very impressed with the Air and Adventure Pass. Mostly because they keep reusing a lot of the same old rewards from the ones before. Like the same pet, those lightning weapon appearance scrolls and all that crap. And also because most of the items in this are not tradable for some dumb reason. So, not a very good pass. That shadow crystal over here, and let's get rid of expired items. Yeah, I don't know when the GM meetup is going to be in game. They said they're going to have like a meetup time where the GMs are actually on. That will be announced later. But I will do my best to attend that, and whenever it happens, and if it happens to be during one of my streams, then I'll have my character attended on stream. Why not? Maybe I'll even pull out the old Xanafied cat character for that. Or Neko, I don't know. Alright, well, let's get started on this event stuff. Oh, so we have this kind of menu going on again. Yeah, this was okay when they had it the first time. I like it. Oh, and this is one of the damage skins, one of the main rewards. Where's the other one at? This Celtic Knotwork damage skin does look pretty cool, but it displays those knot-sensitive numbers, but it might be a little hard to read when you're like in a fight. Like, I wouldn't use it during a raid in like Bree or Crom or anything like that, but it'd be fun to use when just doing some dailies and stuff, or clearing a simple dungeon where you don't really need to think that much. Maybe the other damage skin becomes available through I know there's another damage skin, maybe it comes later in the event. But yeah, there'll be 2 for that. Yeah, let's start this library event. I'm glad they keep bringing back this library, because it looks really cool. I wouldn't even mind if they, like, added this to the game in a real location, like made this an actual permanent library in the game. This is a really cool place. Like you could have a place like this in like Haru Forest or something, right? Like if you put like a hidden town in a forest like that, you could have like a library like this. That'd be pretty cool. And Leaf is back. Great cat person. Wait, who do I register for the event with? Let's take a look at our event quests. Oh, there's a required tab. Guess there's some old quests I haven't gotten around to that I need to take a look at. The Sweet White Day event was extended by a week, so I'm going to be doing a little bit of that. Actually, let's actually do that now. I know I came all the way to the library, but let's go take care of that now, because the part-time job that I have to do for that starts at around noon in-game, and it's pretty close to that time, so might as well just get it out of the way, then we'll get to that other event stuff. Okay, let's go to Turconale. I could do the grocery store daily in Dumbarton, but I just do the Turconale one. I don't know why. Just because. I guess we also get a lot more points for part-time jobs now. We get like double the points, and they made that system a little bit better. Overall, I liked most of the quality of life changes that I saw there, and they were pretty good. No, I'm not gonna do that. Let's see. Okay, deliver bread to Mevin at the church. This is a real simple one. That's an ancient, isn't it? Oh, I guess not. Pretty big for a fox. And we can report back at 2 p.m. in game, or at 1400. Whoops. I don't mean to keep hitting that, I meant to direct the door. I love the interaction button. That was a really good update that they added a while back. Oh right, and they made our Soulstream inventory bigger, so my Soulstream inventory no longer fits here. I gotta move this down a bit. Hang on. Luckily I can just move the fish bag down a little bit. That'll solve the problem. Oh wait, not quite. We have to move things over a bit too. Jeez, it's wider. I guess that... Wait. Oh, it's still not... I gotta move it more. How much more? Wow. It's still not ending yet. Jeez. Okay, that might be a little bit too much. Crap, I have to reorganize this. We'll figure that out. Hang on. Let's turn this in real quick. That is a lot bigger. Let's see if I can get this inventory to work the way I want it to. I don't know if I can... That is a big inventory. I'm not really sure what I can do here. I'm gonna move all this back and I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna keep this up, and then I don't really keep things I use every day in here. So I'll just check it every once in a while. I'll just put things I know I'm putting into storage and not gonna really use for a while in the inventory, and I'll just keep it like minimized. Can I like give it a tag or a note, or they have one for like storage or something? Bad note, like storage. Sure, that works. This stuff that I'm not using. That'll work. And let's go back to Dunbarton and turn in this event quest. I do want that one homestead prop. Which costs like 100 coins. How many do I have now? I'm gonna get 20. We'll have 60 when we finish this. 80 tomorrow, and then assuming I don't put in the effort to do it on the weekend, we'll finish it up on Tuesday then. Yeah, that'll work. Alright, here you go. And then let's go back to the library. Do this stuff next. Oh, okay, we use the invitation item, so we actually have to use this letter that we got. Register main character. No, we don't need markers. We'll figure it all out. Alright, let's get started. So where's this bookshelf I'm looking for? Or maybe it's even in the library if we have to enter. I'm already in here, maybe I'm not supposed to be. That might be... Pretty sure this is it. Okay, so there's a secret bookshelf in here, I guess, because that little cutscene thing happened. I'm gonna check this side first, because that player checked like those two, and I don't think anything happened. So... Hey, there it is. There's the key. And then we use that to, oh, we use the invitation next? Cool. And it's probably going to tell us to use the key on that bookshelf over there to get into the library, which is how you're supposed to get there. In the correct spot in the library. It's not here? Really? What about here? Oh! Alright then. When was that there? Oh, I guess there really is a little thing for a key on it. Okay, I guess the interaction key doesn't work with this one. You actually have to click on that. Nope, it's not my first time meeting this character. I have been here with this character before. So this is a old story event, I guess. Talk to him in the library, alright. Let's move that over more. Just giving us all the details about that. Oh yeah, the stamp board. Okay, I do want to have a look at that. Let's put that right over here. A little bit lower. That'll do. Okay, so we have to clear an Ulad dungeon. That won't be a problem. I usually do my daily vet dungeons. Daily Tara Shadow Mission, and Daily Tailton mission, rebirth, level up 10 times. Okay. These are all pretty easy. Magic Ink Spirit Liquor, and week 1 gives the first damage skin, so the Avid Reader one. I'll probably make some shorts showing off these damage skins when I get them. Week 2 gives the Celtic Knot ones, which are pretty cool. And the Morning Sunlight second title coupon is for week 3. And then a Wings box for week 4. Or, no wait, after you complete week 3 and get all the stamps. Okay, so there are 3 weeks for that one. It's nice that we can see what the upcoming requirements will be for all these. Gather wool, so this is like gathering stuff. That's easy. So yeah, this will be week 1, this will be week 2, and this one will be week 3, and then when you get all those, you get that box. I get it. Fully complete 2 part-time jobs. Burn equipment or an enchant 1 time. Complete 2 combos in a freestyle jam. Commerce 2 times is not going to be a problem. I'm trying to take this commerce season very seriously. Fishing is easy. Cooking is a little bit of a pain, but still easy. And then play an instrument 3 times. Yeah, these are all pretty easy, straightforward things. Okay, so these are the big rewards. Oh, this is week 1 quests. So we need to talk to Soso, the spirit here. Let's find that one. Okay, yeah, I figured it was probably in this area. Oops. Doesn't help that it keeps hovering up and down. The name keeps moving. Complete 2 part-time jobs. Okay. I guess I should have waited on that part-time job thing, but oh well. Yeah, we'll do extra part-time jobs. I guess it doesn't really matter. Do we just select the mini games from here, or the library? I don't see all the mini games here. Or do we talk to some of these guys for the mini games? I'm not paying 3k gold to move to different locations. It's not gonna happen. Waste of money. Okay, minigame. That's nice that it says minigame by it. Didn't notice that. Yeah, I remember this one. That one. Was it that one? Oops, I got that one wrong. Oh well. Four out of 5. Okay, it counts once per day. So we can't do any more that will count for that for now. So I think other than the part-time jobs, that's pretty much done. Let's go see what part-time jobs are available, if any. A little late in the afternoon. Yeah, no part-time jobs are available, so we'll have to come back in a different Mabby day. That's not really a big deal. Let's get the dungeon thing done. I think we'll go ahead and do the vet dungeon today, unless it happens to be like the Eka dungeon. Do I have like an unlimited veteran foamer pass? I don't remember if I don't think I have anything like that. Oh, this is for a pet, okay. Wonder who I want to use that on. I'll think about that. Okay, we have CR dungeon today. Let's go ahead and clear that. So dual guns and staff. And I want to switch to Arsenal Gunner. I'm currently in Forbidden Alchemist. One more level to go, and that's gonna be maxed out. Alright. Let's hop over to CR Dungeon. I think it's the easiest vet dungeon out of all of them. Switch over to here. Okay, let's summon that. Guess I could equip Stardust, it might help. And I want that status stuff open. And let's get some speed potions. Where'd that vet pass go off to? Oh, there it is. I'll probably do most of my text tomorrow, like I have this dungeon stuff going on and all the event stuff going on, so I'll probably just do most of the text like tomorrow, I think. Probably do the Spet dungeon and then focus on a little bit of commerce. Move keys right down there, a little bit lower. There we go. Oh crap. There's two hidden rooms like right down there. And time for the boss. Get these metal skeletons out of here. Not yet. Deal with that golem later. Okay, let's get that ready, and let's get this ready. Little distance. Oops. If Lost Dragon would have appeared a little closer, that would have worked. Hey! Done. 14 minutes and 49 seconds. Red diamonds. Spirit gems. And that's good enough. So we got the day 1 objective complete. I still have to do 2 part-time job things right now, but it's like too late in game to like do that, so I guess I'll just try and do that in between commerce. We're gonna do like 45 minutes of commerce, something like that. Maybe an hour if it takes longer to get part-time jobs done. I don't know, but we'll work it out. Oh wait, let's switch back to Forbidden Alchemist for this, so all my levels can go towards that. And yeah, that'll give it a boost. Nice. Put the dual guns back, and switch back to this set, put that there. Okay, we'll switch to Mage. Where's I keeping this again? Maybe over here. And really quick, I will be right back, and then we'll do some commerce stuff. Alright, let's go ahead and do some commerce. So I don't know where I really want to trade from. Let's maybe try starting with Dumbarton. And then I'll do part-time jobs kind of in the middle. So maybe after this commerce round, it might be a good time to do like part-time jobs. I guess these are worth a lot at Bangor, we'll take it there. I'm not taking anything overseas. Okay, I think we have enough time for another commerce round before part-time jobs start up around Aaron, so let's go try some commerce from Tailton next, I think. Hey, someone got their 20th Grandmaster talent. That takes a while. Good for them. Anyway, let's see what we have here. Alchemy crystals, 2 of those. Barrier spike crystals. 43 Nemane, let's take those there. We'll exit South Tailton and then enter the Dumbarton area. Then just go right through Osnasail to Emane. I think that's the best route. Wow, we still have a lot of time left, so we'll do another commerce round. Let's take this stuff from... Oh, they have that whole barbecue bear. That weighs a lot. How much of that do they have? A lot of it. I would want to use the camel for that. That goes for a lot in Tailton. Yeah, let's do that. Take that whole barbecue bear. It would be better to take that overseas to one of the other continents, but I just don't feel like doing that today, so I'm not going to. So too bad. Oh, and I need to use the other speed potion. Where is it? Where'd my second speed potion go off to? I should just use the search function more. Oh, and it's right there. See, I am just as blind as a bat when it comes to inventories. Alright, we're gonna go back the way we came and drop this stuff off at Tailton, and then I'll probably wait around until we can get some part-time jobs, so we can complete that daily thing. Then maybe we'll do a few more rounds of commerce and then quit. Okay, let's turn in this whole barbecue bear for 203. That's pretty good. And I think the earliest part-time jobs start like around 7 a.m. in game, so let's hop over to Draconail and find out. Because we have to do at least 2. Use the cat form here. I'll skip like 2 simple ones, like delivery quests. Low effort. I'm not crafting anything. As long as I don't have to craft the potion, sure. Deliver it to Pieris, so at the inn. I think it's cool, in Mabinogi Mobile, you can actually go to the, like, inside the bedrooms in the Draconail Inn, like they've done the upstairs area. I'm looking forward to seeing that when Mabinogi Mobile actually comes out, like, in the US. And then we report back to Dailies. I know the player population has, like, kind of dropped a little bit because the game has been down so much due to the like the server attacks from the cheaters. But how's the 2 busy channels? Okay. Looks like we're finally getting our population back. Mabinogi's been down for a week just because like 1 or 2 cheaters are crying because they got caught cheating. You can actually get in legal trouble for attacking a server like that, flooding it with bots, so I actually hope that Nexon, you know, finds out who and where they are and actually takes real legal action against them. Be nice if they at least had to pay a heavy fine. Like, that's more than dropping the ban hammer on them. That's actually... that would actually be some justice right there. I forget if we can go up these stairs. No, we can't. Wait, is that ceiling too high for my head, or is it just too... hang on. Or is it just too high for my staff? Oh wow, Xanafiedlion is barely short enough to actually fit underneath this spot of the inn. I didn't know if this floor would even have, you know, if there'd even be a floor. Well, I guess there would be because you can see the floor on the top, so yeah. That's cool. Because some of these buildings are pretty weird. You know, not all of the parts of them are finished.
남자들은 다 똑같아.
This one actually is pretty good looking, though, compared to some of the other ones. Anyway, that's cool that the healer's house is kind of suited for giants. Even the doorway is big enough. There aren't very many buildings in Ulad that are, like, giant accessible. I don't really care about the reward. I'll stake XP. And let's dash over and get another part-time job thing. Because I should have time to do one more. I don't want to make 2 braids or gather firewood. I guess I'll pick braids over firewood. I don't want to make a full outfit or gather firewood right now. But 2 braids isn't that difficult. We can do that. Will I need weaving gloves for that? I'm not even sure. Hang on, let's take our staff off for a second, because I think I'll at least need to be barehanded. Oh, even this looks a little bit different. So braid, part-time job only. Where's the... Oh, here it is. Wait, how many do I need for that? I think there's 2. Oh, failure. It's counting on not being successful. I guess I should level up my weaving. But now that life skills don't give any stat boosts anymore, I'm less motivated to level up my weaving, so there's also that. Come on, get it done. There we go. And then let's go to Eurus, so back to the inn. Alright, and we're done with the part-time job stuff. One time out of 5, so we need to do that for 4 more days. Let's do maybe 1 or 2 more rounds of commerce and then we'll wrap things up. So I'm going to equip my staff again. And then the alpaca, we'll do one from here. Let's take those to Bangor for 83. It looks like we bought up all they had. Alright, let's go. Alright, let's see how far we are in the commerce thing. I don't even know. Okay, so I'm getting close to silver 4. Alright, well that's good enough on commerce for today, I think. Let's go ahead and cancel that summon.
철광석을 들여다시려면 나를 만나야 해요.
So we'll wrap up the Mabinogi stream right around here for today, and I will be streaming Mabinogi again tomorrow at the same time. And later tonight, I will probably before midnight, I'll have a couple of Mabinogi videos going up about some of the news posts that were released today.